raise your hand and we'll get you a microphone for questions for Coach Green.
So mentioned a little earlier, but Genesis has played 45, 40, and now 37 minutes in the past 3 games. Is that an intentional thing or just based on the game?
We don't have another point guard. So, I tried to get her a break today. Jazz obviously is playing some point, but Jazz is better off the ball too. And, I try to find a time. It's just hard to get her off the floor. She's so damn good. You can't really take her off. So, and she's really, her stamina and conditioning has gotten to a point where she's able to play that long. And obviously we know KB's been playing 40 minutes pretty much her whole career. But yeah, it's amazing what Jen's been doing, and just the level she's playing at, and everything she has to do for us, plus play that long and be that locked in as a point guard to run the team. It's just that she's playing at an elite level right now with an extreme amount of confidence.
So, Coach, after tonight, you're now just a half game out of that double bye for the Big Ten tournament, and the 4 teams that are ahead of you guys, UCLA, USC, Ohio State, Michigan State. So what do you think you guys have to do down the stretch here to stay there or possibly even move up in the standings?
Just one day at a time. You can't get too far ahead of yourself. You can't, every game we have is just, it's really hard, Right now, I'm already worried about Wisconsin. They're really, really good, and they're really, really good at home. So that's it. We got to lock into the day, and we try to just win that day, and then we move on to the next day, and the process is the most important thing right now.
Shauna, what are you seeing from the 3-point shooting to be as good as it has been? Is it selection? Is it kind of, what's behind it?
The only thing, I credit, like I told you guys, I think we just got a ton of reps in over Christmas, and I think we really needed that. We just needed the reps that equal the confidence piece. And then you guys see a couple go in the game. We're taking threes that are happening, some of them are out of sets, like some of our action. When we've hit some big ones, I'll call that. And then some of them have also come off of some of our drives that, so many teams are pulling in and really, clogging the paint up that we're getting inside out threes. So some of those are happening, and we've really worked on that in practice. We are working, we do that every day. When people, they come in on Dal on our Zoom action, well, okay, well, now we're gonna make you pay and get inside out threes, which an inside out three is such a rhythm shot. So I think it's just a variety of reasons why, but it starts with putting the work in and getting the reps up, and then I think it's contagious too. You see the ball go in and everyone starts, and then we don't take a ton of threes, and I think that's we're just very selective with what we're not going to jack threes. It's not what we do. We want to take good threes, and then if not, we're going to get downhill and get to the free throw line.
This kind of goes along with what you were just saying, Coach, but over this 5-game win streak, it seems like 3-point efficiency has really stood out for the team. How has that transformed your guys' offense during this stretch?
It's huge when you can start making shots, because again, we were so downhill driven, and so get to the rim, put pressure on the defense, get fouled, that then teams just go under everything, and they just collapse in, and everyone's trying to take away and clog up the paint for us. So that was when we had to be very intentional, and something we worked on and drilled every day, of making them pay, of getting inside out threes. And again, it really has helped that Barry's come along, and she's actually playing more at the 3 now. Bryn's been shooting it better. Even Jazz was 1 for 1 tonight, looked really confident in her 3. So those guys are stepping up, making shots, and now everyone's trying to play us in because all the numbers show that we're not hitting threes. So that's, I think, how it started, just organically getting those inside outs. And now that they're hitting threes, now I have more confidence in other people besides Jen making threes. So now I'm calling stuff. I'm calling the play that when Barry had the 3 in the 4th, when we're down 4, that was a set play that we called for Barry to shoot the 3. It was funny, Jen asked me the next day when we were talking, Jen went, "Coach, what made you call that for Barry when we're down 4 for her to take the 3? I don't know, I have confidence in her. I don't care if she's a freshman, and so those are things that I just think now, when you start doing that, it just breeds the confidence from everyone, myself included.
Sean, after what you were able to do in transition with Phoenix and Evanston,
Yeah.
did you get an old school muck it up kind of game from Joe tonight? Just and what he wanted to take away from you?
Yeah, I mean, Joe knows. I installed Phoenix when I was there for working for him. So if he listened to me at all, he should know what to do. But he did a great job. And that's the thing. He's a Hall of Famer, and he made really good adjustments. They really did muck it up. They tried to take that away. We got 35 points in Phoenix last game. I don't know what the breakdown is this game, but it sure as hell is not that much. I thought they were really physical with us. And they did a really good job of it, and then they just pounded inside. We knew they were going to do that. They score 51% of their points come from the paint, and tonight was the same thing for them. They killed us inside, and we got to adjust on that, especially going into Wisconsin where you have Sarah Williams, that obviously is one of the best post players in the country. So we're going to have to look at some different things with some doubles and some schemes with that. But they were just really, the adjustment was they attacked us really, really hard inside and in the paint.
Coach, I just wanted to get your thoughts on just how aggressive you guys were to get to the line. I just wanted to just see how you thought that, kind of panned out for you.
Yeah, that's again, I think this team's really bought into that being our identity. We're one of the highest in the country of getting to the free throw line, and then also I think we're third in the country right now at free throw percentage. So you got to get there, but then you got to hit them, and it's won us games. How we're shooting the ball from the line, the ability, and how we put so much pressure on the defense with getting downhill and a lot of our action that now you gotta make decisions. So you gotta kind of pick your poison, what you're gonna stop. And again, that's led to a lot of our easy, I don't wanna say easy, but your kick out rhythm threes. So I think just that's kind of that cumulative effect as the season goes on of just, again, our numbers from getting to the free throw line, our numbers, really getting paint points and paint touches.
KV described the second half just as weird, but how would you kind of describe what that last 20 minutes was like compared to what you were able to do in that first half?
Yeah, it was. Right away in the second, it started off, KV had 3 fouls in a minute and 15 seconds. I don't know how that happens. And, it just was very choppy. Credit Northwestern for how they played. Then, we're both in the bonus. And, again, I just never felt in a good rhythm. Offensively, and then they were just pounding it in, and then I tried to play the game of getting some of our guys rest because I know we have a short turnaround, and that didn't work out very well. So there's just so many things that went into that, but I do give Northwestern credit because I think a lot of it was they were just they were just going like old school, pound it. And Walsh kind of went on a little heater there and really, really took it to us. And so she made some big time plays in the second where I don't even know what she had in the first, but she didn't have that many because Daly she was her leading scorer at 10 and no one else was in double figures. So, and Daly only had 5 the second half. So it was really Walsh that kind of hurt us in that span. But that's also, I said it kind of, we gotta get better at that because we're going into a post heavy team on Sunday.
Is there anything you can think of in the last 6 weeks or so with Barry that you kind of saw it all come together? I know she went more with Calamity, but any moment that sticks out for you?
I just think experience. She's playing 30-some minutes, and so every day, with the freshmen, it's new for her. She's never been through this. She's never played played a Northwestern the second time. She's never played a Maryland. She's never been on the road at a Maryland, whatever it is, at a Rutgers. She doesn't know some of these things that she's playing with all seniors. So I don't think there's a moment. It's just every day, every moment of the day, she just continues to learn and get better and just get more experience. And I think experience leads to more confidence. Now she's starting to produce in games, or she has been. So again, confidence. And I think her teammates, as older guys, they've done a great job with her of embracing her, fueling her, and pouring into her with, like she said, with confidence. And she also is just a unique kid that she can take what you tell her and she applies at an elite level. Not many people do that. I watched film with her the other day, and we went all through the stuff on Maryland. I told her, this and that, what you need to continue to improve on. And in that practice, everything we talked about, she applied it. It was amazing. And I was like, sitting there like, Barry, this is all, like, that's what we just, talked about. Now you're doing this. So it's like, she's just a high IQ kid. And application is on a whole nother level.
Coach, when you look at the crowd that you're turning on week in, week out, and just the support that you're getting from this community, young and old, can you kind of talk about with this week, celebrating National Girls and Women's Sports Day, like what it means for you to kind of be an inspiration for some of the younger girls who are coming out to games, and also maybe a mentor that is giving you a piece of advice in your career that's led you to where you're at now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been amazing. Even tonight, I don't even know what day it is, but to have 45, almost 4,600, and a ton of little girls here, it's what better role models can little kids look up to than these kids we have right now? I mean, our young women they're great basketball players, but they really are great people, and that's the most important thing. So to have all the girls here watching them see that you can do whatever you want to do, that it's okay to be passionate about what you do and play really, really hard, and but then you can also be a really good person and treat people the right way. So I just think that the community is very fortunate that our kids are very fortunate that they have some amazing people to really watch, and they really do. They do things the right way. They treat people right. They work really, really hard. They're just really good people, and they're high character. Those are the things that are so important in our culture, and I love that the communities really embrace them. And our kids love it. They love it just as much. So it was great to see a long line of little kids and getting autographs.
It was talked about a little bit earlier, but what's your relationship like with Joe, having worked with him? Is there a little bit more of a competitive edge now that you play him every once in a while in Big Ten play?
No, actually it's not. I forgot how much he yells at the refs. I guess I learned well from him. So when you guys think I'm crazy, I learned from Joe. But he's a great person. Like this is the thing I always say. He's an unbelievable. He's going to be a Hall of Fame basketball coach, but he isn't a Hall of Fame person. Like there's his family. I mean, his daughter's on staff now. His other daughter is going to have a baby tomorrow, or is due tomorrow. His wife still texts, they're like Andy, my husband, and her, they're best friends. They talk all the time, and they're just really good people. And I learned so much from being there, from the basketball perspective, but also just how to treat people and do things the right way. You wouldn't think that when you see him on the sideline being crazy, but he's an unbelievable coach, and just a really, really good person. And Orange Crush was on him. I felt bad. They were on him. I was all right. Leave my boy alone, you guys.
Is one of the adjustments you've made lately just as KB as a distributor, especially out of your ball screen stuff? If somebody's going to play drop, just that she can see over the top.
She's done a great job on that. That's really, I'd love to take credit for that. But that's her just being like just in such a comfort and with everything we do. Like now, that's what's fun right now about these guys. Like for me is we've been together so long. Like they just started in practice and in games. They're just making plays that like they're just doing because they know each other and they can read each other so well. So some of the passes she made, in the first half were unbelievable. And that was just her being a player, her taking advantage of how they were playing. So that's all. I give all the credit to her on that. But it's really fun every day to watch these guys and how they've gelled. And as a coach, you can probably see with me, I don't freak out as much. Like I'm just in such a good rhythm with them too. And I felt like that even in the end of last year in that WBIT, like these guys know what I'm going to say before I'm even probably going to say it now. So they're coaching each other. They're out there talking to each other. They're making reads. They're calling some plays. And that's what's special. And that's what's special when you get a group of kids to stay loyal and true to a program, because that continuity is absolutely huge.